So it's Monday, March 24, 2025, work week 13, last week of the quarter. Been off track a little bit lately, making progress. Again, trying to stay in a good headspace, not be thinking about perfection, but progress. Some personal challenges as always. Fucking stop saying dude. So turning 50, got some knee and neck stuff going on, got some family challenges. Also, watching this video, and you guys don't see it, but a whole bunch of spacing out is done in the editing, and I think lack of focus. 2011, I got into a car accident, got hit by a car, brain hemorrhage, hematomas, cracked skull, a lot of things on top of 8 years of abuse before that. So focusing isn't necessarily a strength, hence making tools to get better at that. So anyway, why am I vlogging? Why am I making the change? Why am I sticking with it? Well, I'm trying to get the reps in for the business. Also trying, you could take these glasses off. Getting reps in storytelling, getting reps in with learning to edit videos and all the software that's involved. Hope to connect with clients locally and collaborators here in Portland, Oregon. Also, like connecting with the maker community at large. I think people who like to build their own things are definitely kindred spirits. I heard, man, I forget who it was, Joey something, I forget, it's a famous podcast guy, and he said once in Making It, a podcast called Making It, that at some point he wanted to build every piece of furniture in his house. And I was like, man, I had the exact same thought, still want to, and I was just like, that's my tribe. So I like connecting with those folks. And also starting down the road of making the world a better place. Things are dodgy, that sounds lofty and all, but if you keep it simple, I think of the impact a chair had on me. I did undergraduate studies at UNM with chemistry and physics major, and Centennial Library has these great Morris chairs. One of my favorite things to do was to sit in the library in one of those chairs and study. Big wide arms. You could put something to drink. You could put your paper, your notebook on one side, your book on the other side, and it was just like a whole little sort of built-in desk. I loved it. One of my goals was when I got out and to either make one or get one or buy one. I did. I ended up graduating, got a job at Intel, and one of my first purchases I bought was a Morris chair. It's still here, still love it. It's handmade, Amish Connection in Albuquerque. Shout out, I think it was built by a craftsperson up in Denver, and it is, besides some kid stains and abuse, it's as good as it's ever been. Yeah, so that's the why of it. So moving forward, and one of my major tools, and what makes today kind of exciting and frustrating, is my to-do list. We've gone over this before. I do every quarter I rewrite this. It's laminated and it gets written on. Each month I sit down and write down, well, let me back up. So my morning routine: journal, eat and train, MWD, month, week, daily checklist, to-do list. That's this. Push, grind, and go is kind of my little pep talk. Anyway, I got my goals for the year, my quarterly goals up here. I'm not going to go too deeply into those, but anyway, so this month gets filled out this month and doesn't change for the whole month. This week it's filled out for this week and doesn't change for the whole week. And then the daily stuff is what I need to do, and all of this builds down from the goals and from things I want to accomplish. This has been a great tool for helping me focus when I use it. Like all things, they work if you work them, and trying to get back to this better. In terms of storytelling, each week I really want to go over, keep these parts of the week and the day relevant and fresh. So we'll see if I can get done what I say I'm going to get done. And if not, try and figure out why and understand that and make improvements for the next week. So it's basically that simple. yeah, grounding out. That's where we want to go. Personal life is in huge transition, I think, and business is about to support that transition and that change that's coming. So, thanks. Let's go. All right, part two. We just talked about getting organized and trying to set up a weekly challenges and daily challenges, but didn't even go over that. So, real quick, there's that focus. Anyway, so this week, looking to get the Halltree totally assembled and get figured out the finish. Also, probably get my eyebrows, trim those suckers up, or at least hide them under the hat. That's something. What else? My contracting license has been expired, although my insurance and bond is there. It's just I've been working on stuff around the house and furniture, so I haven't needed it, and so been putting that in the back burner. Hope I'm gonna get 2 hours in working on the kitchen rack development. I also have a bunch of video projects that are sitting on the hard drive, nice and organized, and just need editing. That plus some PT and some stuff, jiu-jitsu classes for trying to keep the body in working condition for hopefully the next 50 years to come. That is about it. There was something else. Can I remember it before we log off? Videos up to date. Nope. Don't remember it. Anyway, that's enough for now. Start again. Okay, Tuesday check-in. What got done yesterday? Our goal was to get the large panels all glued up. That got done. Get the cubbies ready for dry assembly. That did not get done. We did some PT, didn't do the pull-ups. We did make a gi and no gi jiu-jitsu class at Five Rings. I was thinking about wiping my face so much. I think next time I touch my face, I gotta punch myself in the nose making these videos. Getting tired of editing that out. New vlog format, that's going good. So it's pretty successful day yesterday. Why we didn't get to the cubby dry assemblies was got a little distracted on the bottom shelf, got glued up over the weekend, and got working on scraping, smoothing that, which took a little bit longer than I thought, and actually isn't done. Realized with this white oak, we got to be sharpening these chisels a bit more. So that's that. What's next? Today's list, sharpen the, don't do it. Sharpen the, get the chisels, not the chisels, get the smoothing plane all sharpened up nice and smooth all those boards. Decided to smooth all these boards instead of sand them. I might change my mind halfway through, but I kind of, it's a nice, it looks better. There's a shinier appearance naturally. The grain seems to stick out in a way that the sanded wood doesn't. So probably ought to talk to our client about that one, but we'll see. What else is next today? So the panels, gotta aim high in the afternoon class. I am rearranging my schedule to get more time during the day to work, but Coach Dan, the awesome coach, is teaching a instructor class over at Aim High, and that's a pretty good opportunity to have access to such a rad black belt with such a small number of students. So I don't think that one's negotiable. Also, hopefully go pick up a chainsaw. We got a chainsaw order today for some projects and some yard cleanup. The last thing, hopefully this afternoon, is that we get those cubbies all done and ready to go. So let's go. I'll go show you those panels. They're not too exciting, but it's worth checking out. Gives you the appearance or the appreciation of getting the right amount of glue on there. The first one I overglued a bit, had a lot of run out, didn't do such a great job cleaning it up. These next two don't do it. These next two came out a lot cleaner. All right, let's go take a look. Hey, here we are in the shop. Quick check-in. Lovely weather outside in Portland today. So let's see what we got. That was the bottom panel we talked about that we worked on scraping yesterday, or smoothing, instead of the cubby. All good with that. The panels for what are going to be the main box that hold the drawers are glued up there and ready to scrape. You could tell did a much better job on that one, going a little bananas with the glue. And what else do we find? I had painted, another thing we learned, and we put this brown paper on here, was that some of the paint and stuff that was on the workbench was rubbing off on the wood and got a little annoying, which I guess if you're in a production place, anything that slows you down is money out of your pocket. And we like to get things done well and quickly and safely. That's that. Oh, ironically, we put a post up on Instagram. There'll be a link down below in the description about all the clamps we're using, and we just got some more corner clamps, because we're going to be cutting the those two panels over there are going to make the four sides of the drawers mitered at the edge with biscuits holding the sides, exposed biscuits. Should look cool, but I realized that I don't have any corner clamps. Now we do. All right, checking out for now. Let's see what we get done today. Take care. Okay, Supernova Design Company, Wednesday. Happy spring break, hump day. What do we got? Status update from yesterday. Our goal was sharpen the planes, smooth the panels, and get the cubbies done. Oh, we got planes done, sharpened. We got the panels smooth. Didn't get the cubbies done. Did a quick experiment. I was thought that the smoothing plane looked great. Then did a quick test before I was going to send a comparison piece to my aunt. Was going to do a sample piece that was sanded, one part sanded, one part smooth, one part not treated at all, to see the difference when I did it side by side. The feeling in the hand on the sanded one was so much smoother than the planed one, so decided to not use the smoothing plane on all of them. I'm going to sand everything. The visual difference isn't that obvious, and the feeling is much nicer with. I did a 220 and then 320, rubbed everything off with water to see what it would look like, and it was pretty indistinguishable, honestly. So decision made there. Also yesterday, PT and hangs. We didn't do PT, we did get to the jiu-jitsu, and then 2 hours on vids. We did get that done, so it was actually a pretty successful day. A couple of the challenges probably kept things from happening. Had a chiropractor appointment. Kids are on spring break, so they're in and out, needing lunches and breakfasts and all those things that kids need. We also took a trip to get a nice new chainsaw. Throw a clip of that in there. The old DeWalt wasn't cutting it. We got an Echo 620 PW, which we tried out yesterday and is awesome. Thanks to the guys at Stark Street Lawn and Garden here in Beaverton. I kind of had my heart set on a steel, but for the price and power and simplicity, Echo seemed like a good place to go. Don't need to tell you all this shit. So today, sand the panels, get the cubbies done. We're gonna go Airbnb and try and squeeze in on vacation starting tomorrow. Gonna get the CCB stuff all back in order. Got the continuing education classes to take and to check there's some money to give those guys, and work on kitchen designs.